Hi, this is Derek Carr with BSCpro, and I just wanted to give you a quick update and an overview of the new production tracker. It's a production/persistency tracker. We've combined them, and there are a few differences from the way that we used to do things. This is mostly because of the new 40-60% advanced policy, but we've also added a lot of cool, great features that I think is going to make your life a lot easier. So there are a few different filters or different views, ways that you might view your policies. You can filter it by date, but then you can also filter it by certain categories. And changing to these different categories will change which policies you're seeing here on the main screen, and also what goes into the totals that you're seeing at the top left. The most common is the app submitted date. That's what's going to be there by default. You'll also see the current month set by default. So if I'm looking at app submitted date for the current month, I'm going to see all the policies for my base shop that were submitted this month. That's regardless of whether any advances have hit, or even if I'm getting advances from policies that were written last month, those aren't going to show on this filter. So the first thing that you'll notice, and these are going to be the same on every filter, every page that you look at the top right, you see the 1,000 total points, 5,000 total points. So there at the top right, that's the actual total points of the policy that was written, regardless of whether the split agent is in your base or not, or it's a map or whatever. That's the total amount. But then the amount that you see here under written is the total amount that will be attributed to you in your base shop. So in this case, I'm the only writing agent. Of course, 100% of those points are going to come to my base shop. So I see the full 1,000 points written. So that kind of gives you at a glance, I can see this is how much this policy is worth to my base shop, assuming we get all the advances pushed through. You can also notice we do a breakdown here of points per agent that go towards the base shop. So I'm seeing this one's actually green just because it's me. So if it's your personal points that you wrote, you'll see it in green. Otherwise, you're going to see it in like a gray-blue like this. And then in this case, you'll see that I'm the writing agent, so half of the points are going to me, and then you don't see any points under the split agent, and that's merely because the split agent is outside my base. So no points are getting attributed to the base shop or to me, so I'm not going to see them there, which is also why I'm seeing written points 1,750, even though it was a 3,500 point total policy. So here I am. I'll now show a few other views that people use. So we're on the app submitted date. I'm going to change it to the other one that's really important that you're probably going to use a lot, and that is the actual points, or the actual commissioned points report. So I click that, and you'll notice I'm still seeing these three policies that were written this month because they each have at least some advance that has hit in this date range that I have selected, the 1st of June through the 30th of June. But you'll also notice this new policy that has shown up, and that is because in this case the policy was written 26th of May, and then in advanced, both advances hit last month, but this month there was a chargeback. So I have a 617, a chargeback, which is going to do it shows right here as a line item, so it'll be 750 points that it's taking out. So I can see up here my chargebacks. I can see the total chargebacks of 750. I can also see the actual points, this is that important figure that you want to see. That's the actual points that you're going to be receiving this month. So that's including all the advances that came in June, minus any of the chargebacks. So this actual points already has the chargebacks taken into account. Okay, now another an important filter you might look at would be the pending first or second advance. So what that's going to do is give me every single policy that's in the system that still has either a first or a second advance that has not advanced yet. So this is allowing you to see anything that you need to work on, anything that is waiting, and so I can go through here and I can say, oh, okay, we've got to do, these are the different things we need to do to make sure that these policies get their advances completed. You can also break that down, and let's say if you just wanted to work on the pending first advance or pending second advance, you could, so you would only see those that don't have a second advance, or if I only wanted to see policies that don't have a first. So It's just depends on how you want to break it down and work. The other thing that's important is on these pending first second, pending first, or pending second advance, this date selector, it shows disabled because it doesn't matter. The date range, regardless of the date range, you're going to see any policies in your system that are pending first and second. So if you're seeing old stuff on there that you don't want to see, you'll want to go ahead and put a date in there. Either look up and put the correct date or just put an approximation so that it will no longer show on this page. And it's important to have the correct dates in there, though, if you want to be able to go back and get correct reports on when points hit and how they go through the system, because there's a lot of complexity with how a policy might fall. You could have the first advance hitting in the first month, then the 60% part in the second advance hitting in the month after that, and then a month after that you might have a chargeback on that policy, and so that would put the points affecting your totals in 3 separate months. So that's why we now ask for dates rather than just did you get the first advance or did you get the second advance. And then to round things up, just a few more filters that we have here. You can search by dropped policies, which is just going to be all the chargebacks and incompletes within this date range. So you can see that one that hit within this date range. I'm seeing the dropped policies. I can also switch and just look at completed policies within this date range. So if I wanted to say, for example, year to date, all the completed policies, I could click my calendar and I can either go through and click beginning and end date, and it will give me those, or I can click and use one of these shortcuts and do like a year to date and pull it up. So this is pulling up all the completed policies. And then lastly, for those that use highlighting systems where you have yellow issued is essentially the same thing as the pending second advance, but it just brings up those. And the other thing that's good to know is for those that like to do highlighting, the system highlights them automatically now. So once it has a first advance and the issue date is entered, it's going to automatically highlight it as yellow. So you'll be able to filter it down and see that. Then all the other things are here. A lot of these you can click the edit button, the yellow edit pencil, and you can edit details on these policies if you need to. You can set a chargeback date from here if you need to. And you can also set a policy as pending. So a pending submission just means you haven't actually submitted it yet, and that will keep it from counting the points towards your base. And then the last thing I'll show is right here where it says top producer. You can click on that and get your same breakdown by apps and points, ranking all the policies that have come through. So to get an accurate one for your whole base shop, you're probably going to want to go to the actual commissioned points report, and then I can click top producers, and it's going to show just people in my base shop and how many points they actually have written in this date range. So if you have any questions, we're going to be still making some modifications and upgrades and changes to make everything better. And but if you have any issues or questions, you can always click the teal chat bubble in the bottom right hand corner, send us a message, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can with hopefully with an answer and a fix if you're having any trouble. So thank you very much.